Hello, everyone. Welcome to our special Valentine's Day episode. I hope everyone is having a very lovely and loving day. We've got some
Did you
really
see
fun
those
stories.
hearts?
I
Does it
did.
do that?
Yeah,
If we do that, like hearts, okay, I'm going to just keep doing it and see if it happens again. Keep
Yeah.
talking.
it
Okay.
does that automatically. It's so cute. Oh, you did it. Okay, anyway. I'm here with Heather B. Moore, Jennifer Moore, and myself, Julie Daines, and we've got some really fun stories that we are going to share today. But first, we want to announce that we also have our usual giveaway. This time we're giving away one of my earlier books called Unraveled, but we thought it would be a really fun and good love story to go with the Valentine's Day theme. So make sure to comment here or on the YouTube channel. And we usually pick a winner within about, 5 or 6 days, maybe a week or so. So you can, even if you're watching later, you can still enter to win. So, all right, let's get right into our fun Valentine's Day stories. Most of these are about interesting meet cutes. So I think I'll just go first here and tell this story that was submitted by one of our viewers named Janet. And I have to also tell her last name. It's Janet Saunders. But anyway, Janet Sanders probably. So here's what happened. She went to a church dance. This was a while back. And she said that it seemed like there was the man who was kind of stalking her around the church. And it seemed like she would go into like the refreshment room and then he was there. And then she'd go back into the dance and then he was there and always just kind of right in her vicinity. So she thought it was kind of weird because it seemed like maybe he wanted to talk to her, but also it seemed like maybe he was too shy. And frankly, she wasn't very interested because he was shorter than her and she really didn't want to date a guy that was shorter than her. So anyway, she kind of tried to ignore him, but as the evening went on, she heard a different member of the church come up behind him and start talking to him. And the man said, "Well, hello, Brother Sanders." And that got Janet's attention because that was her last name too. And so she kind of started like perking up and listening to what they were saying. And they started chatting behind her back. And it turned out she learned that his ex-wife's name was also Janet. And so she turned around and she was like, "Your ex-wife's name is Janet Sanders?" And he looked a little bit surprised that she had like suddenly jumped into the conversation. And she's like, "Well, yeah, that's my name too, Janet Sanders." And so weirdly enough, after that, they started dating. And they have now been married for 27 years. 27 years they've been married. And it's been kind of a pain for her because they're having the same name as the ex-wife. There was problems getting her kids transferred to the school. And she keeps getting people, especially at the beginning, that would say like, "Oh no, we already have a Janet Sanders on this list." And so it was kind of a pain. And she says she still occasionally gets the ex-wife's mail, but happy 27 years. That's that. How about you, Jenny? Would you book it?
Yep, I love it. I'm a Jennifer Moore, so I have personal experience with this type of thing. Like I have a sister-in-law, Jennifer Moore, and yeah, it's a funny coincidence. And I think that story is so cute that and I guess I didn't realize when you were saying, I guess it was a dance for like older.
Yeah, I think it was probably not like a YSA. And first of all, it's been
like, are they teenagers?
7 or 28 years. And so, yeah.
Anyway, that's fine. But it's so cute. And it's cute that like she wasn't interested until she heard that. And then she was like, "Wait, that's my name," or whatever. That was,
yeah.
I thought it was cute. I would love to have something weird like that in a story.
It works. Heather?
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's super fun because there's a lot of plot points you could play with. I also thought, just in my mind, just in the real life scenario, I thought, well, maybe she should just go by like Jan or Janie or something, just like, so it kind of differentiate, but of course legally, as far as like mail coming and that kind of stuff.
And it sounds like she also had some kids from a previous marriage, and so her kids didn't have to change their last name, and she didn't really have to change her last name. So there are kind of a lot of conveniences involved as well.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think I too would book it. I think it's pretty cute how, I especially like how he was not at all what she was looking for, but then it turned out that they were exactly what they were looking for. And so I kind of like that little twist aspect there.
Yeah,
I do too.
agreed.
Very cute.
So, okay, let's see. Jennifer, do you have a story for us?
Yeah, I have a story, and it's a story that I read on Reddit. So I don't know who to credit it to. So a reader of the Reddit, a contributor of the Reddit world. But this person said that when he was in high school, he would just like doodle, and he was kind of like an artist, and he sketched, people's faces and stuff. And he was in his class, and he was kind of doodling this woman, but it wasn't like anybody that he knew. He was just kind of like drawing, you know what I mean? Just like a face but it wasn't somebody's face. And all the girls in his class started like trying to guess who it was. And he's like, it's nobody here, and one girl's like, I know who she is. She goes to a different school. And do you want to meet her? And he's like, whatever, sure. And he met her, and it was just like the girl he had drawn, and they ended up falling in love, and like he drew her into being his girlfriend. Like he created his girlfriend. It's like kind of seems like an 80s like teenage comedy, don't you think? Like one of those.
Yeah, I think really see
anyway,
that.
it was really cute. So what do you think? You guys like it?
I loved it. So what do you think? Would you book it?
Yeah. And maybe even a little bit of a supernatural element. You know what I mean? Like it just makes me think of the one with Tyra Banks, where she was a doll and they wished or whatever, and she became the full woman. Or I don't know. I thought it was really cute, and it might be fun to have someone that can draw stuff that really happens. So he draws himself a girlfriend.
That's fun. Heather, what about you? Would you book it?
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, I think it would be, I don't know, honestly, if I would specifically write it if it was supernatural, but I think it would be a fun supernatural story. Like maybe, obviously, it's really fun to draw a pretty girl to be your girlfriend, but then it gets out of control, right? Because then it kind of starts to go to like the dark side or whatever. So,
yeah.
I also think I would book it. I think it's adorable, and I would love to write a supernatural story like that. And then they meet and they're in love, but then, what happens to the paper? What if it gets wet? What if some of the ink gets erased? I can just see all these weird complications coming and going. So it kind of,
she starts like making her hips smaller. That's what I would do. Is be like,
right.
you got to edit that picture.
That's funny. It reminds me of a K-drama actually called W2 Worlds that has drawings that cross the line of reality and fake. But anyway, all right, Heather, what's your story?
So mine is actually from one of our listeners. Her name is Brecca. Hi, Brecca. So this took place in the 90s. So this is a true story. And Brecca was, she wants to point out the internet was brand new. So, she was actually on a chat board on the Prodigy Network, which I don't know if that's still around anymore. And she had an online conversation with a guy. And so they hit it off, they messaged back and forth. And she found out he was a wrestler in high school, but now he was in college, and he had helped coach, but he was kind of going back to the high school and helping to coach. Anyway, so they exchanged pictures. They thought each other was cute, but he lived out of state. So Brecca, and I hope it's okay, I'm using her name. Anyway, so she found out that he actually lived pretty close to where her grandmother was in an assisted living home. And so her and her family would go up there to visit, right? So Brecca talked to her mom, and her mom was okay with Brecca meeting him. And so one day they went to meet, they visited the grandmother, and he came over to their hotel, and they were going to go on a date. Well, he knocks on the door, and Brecca answers the door, or because she's like all keyed up. And Brecca's 5'8", and this guy is good looking, but he is 5'2". So this was, I mean, there's a lot of women that are okay with shorter guys and vice versa. But Brecca was like, Anyway, so they went out, they had a great time, they had fun, they laughed, and he bought her dinner and a souvenir, and he took her back to the hotel. And this is the funny part, I thought, was they never spoke again. So neither of them could get past the height difference. So it wasn't even like, let's stay friends. It was like they went dark.
That's funny.
Wow.
All right, Heather, would you book it?
So I don't know. I mean, I think it's super cute because I probably would book it because I think it's a good like kind of start out to story, and maybe they could kind of go on with their lives and decide, and then maybe they meet up like 2 or 3 years later and they decide the height doesn't matter after all because they've gone out with all these other people that they thought were like their ideal physical match. So maybe that would be fun.
What about you, Jennifer?
I don't think I'd book it. I don't know. I don't like that kind of the idea of a relationship not working out because of, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Superficial. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I don't know. I can see it happening in real life, but I don't think I'd book it. It makes me kind of squirmy.
I think I probably would book it. I kind of agree with you that it's hard. You know, there's a lot of people that have a problem, at least women who have a problem with dating guys that are shorter than them. But I know so many marriages where that happened and it totally works out fine. But anyway, I think it's kind of funny because it's not, you know, the happily ever after like some of our other stories. See if we can get another heart going here.
Yeah. I did
But,
It was just on Jenny's side.
No, Julie got one.
Yeah.
It has to be like more.
It's kind of funny. A meet cute that didn't quite work out, but I think you could make a fun story out of it if you brought in, you know, a couple other elements, like maybe they went on a double date and the other guy or something like that. I don't know.
For sure, yeah.
But anyway, well, those are our fun Halloween stories for this week. We hope
Valentine stories.
Valentine. Oh, what did I say?
Halloween.
Oh my gosh. There are Valentine's stories.
That's okay.
I'm gonna get another heart going here. Yeah, those are our Valentine's Day stories. So thanks for joining us. And remember that if you have a story from anything in your life that is funny or weird or coincidental or just kind of bizarre, be sure and send it in to fictionirlauthors@gmail.com. because we love to read them and we save them up till they match up with an episode that we're planning. So be sure and send those in. And thanks for joining us for Fiction in
Real
Life.
Yay!
See you later.